I'm on my last long run before the Sheffield Half Marathon. In this video, I'm going to take you through my training, my prep, my mindset going into the race, and of course, the race itself. Let's get into it. So I just got my race number for the Sheffield Half Marathon. It's getting real. The Sheffield Half Marathon's coming up quickly and I'm excited. I think the atmosphere is going to be amazing. There's going to be a lot of people there, so I'm looking forward to that. But I am also nervous for the race itself. It's the first time I've set myself an ambitious goal and actually committed to training for it as well. In the past, I have done a few half marathons, but I've never committed to training for them. And I would just sort of show up on the day and always have the excuse of, oh, I didn't train, so that's why I didn't do as well as I could have. But this time it is different. And this time there's no excuses. I feel like a lot of times in my life I've had a reason for not doing my best, not giving it my all, whether it was studying for exams or trying to learn a new instrument. I feel like there's almost two categories of people. People who don't believe that they can do something until they do it, and people who think they can do anything but don't do it. And I definitely fall into that second category of people where I feel like I can do anything and I might say that I'm going to do it, but in the end I just don't do it. And that's why 9 months ago I made a commitment to running and to consistently run 2 to 3 times a week. In the beginning it was tough. I was sort of more competitive with myself rather than actually enjoying running. Something that happened over the course of those 9 months is that I actually discovered that I like running more than just the sort of physical side of it, but also the social side of it. It made me reconnect with some old friends that I probably wouldn't have connected with otherwise. Yeah, that's why I've gone ahead and set myself this ambitious goal. 1:45. That is my goal for the Sheffield Half Marathon race. And it's about 4:59 per kilometer. So a reasonable pace, especially in the beginning, but I know as those kilometers go by, each one is going to get harder and harder, and it's going to be a challenge to stick at that pace. Another real challenge with that pacing is the fact that it's about 300 meters of elevation throughout the race, and almost all of it is in the first half. So it's 10 kilometers of just uphill and then about 10 kilometers down. So I really have to be careful to maintain and reserve energy in the first half and be able to then utilize the downhill to speed up and finish strong. And that's really what I want to do for the race. We're now only 2 days away from the race. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the training that I've been doing really started in January. Since then, every week I've just been building up the kilometers, preparing for this race. I'd sort of do a 4-week block and then have a 1-week rest and a 4-week block. And that sort of kept me going for the past months. And it's been really, really fun. I've done a massive mix of workouts from sprints to long runs, thresholds and tempos. It's been a lot of fun learning about all the different types of running, and I think overall it's been really beneficial in my training. You know, fingers crossed that all of that training pays off. Even if it doesn't, I think the fact that I've been consistent in running for that long is already a massive reward within itself. And so if I can get this goal in 2 days' time, then that's just the cherry on top, and I'm excited for it. We're 2 days out now. Tomorrow is the night before the race, and so I'll take you through a little bit of my prep and also show you my race kit, what I plan to wear on the day. Let's go. It's now the night before the race, and today I've just been taking it easy, eating plenty of food and preparing for the race tomorrow. I feel like I've done all of the hard work now. All I can do is slow down, relax, and try and preserve all of my energy so that come race day tomorrow, I can give it my all and I can just go all out and get that sub 1:45. But before that, I also wanted to show you what I'm going to wear tomorrow and also my sort of nutrition that I'll take with me. So yeah, this is exactly what I'm going to take with me. We got my trusted Montaigne lightweight cap, decathlon top and shorts, and don't judge me, these are the best socks. No comments. And I got my one gel with me. So I'm not sponsored by Decathlon, but honestly, $5 for a shirt, $5 for the shorts, £10 pair of socks. You can't really go wrong. And one gel. It may not be the best race strategy, but I haven't taken a lot of gels in the past, so even taking one is already, a jump for me. And I'm hoping bagel in the morning, gel during the race, it'll be just enough to keep me going. But definitely after this, I'm going to be experimenting more with different types of gels. And if you have any gels that you recommend, let me know, because I'm always looking out for something different. Gels aren't always the nicest way. So I don't know if there's any sort of food or anything that you recommend to take before a race or during a race, then let me know. And one thing I did forget to mention as well is my shoes. So I'm going to be wearing these Ultra Torin 7s. They're sort of like a slightly wider shoe. Fit your feet a little bit better. Yeah, I've been wearing these. They're quite new still, but I've been wearing them in. And with that's all I'm going to take with me on the day. And it should be enough to get me to that 1:45 mark. Right now I'm going to get some rest, get some sleep, and I'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. It is the day of the race, and I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm ready to go. We're on our way to the start now. I'm excited to sort of see the crowd, see the energy, and I definitely need some of that right now. Okay, it's tough. Struggling. Leg is tired. Oh, Jamie!
Amelia and Toby and Ben and Charlie and Jane, all these names crossing the line right now at Sheffield Half Marathon. William Melton, Lawrence Young, Kia May, Steve Dyke, George Doak, James Kelly crossing the line.
Oh my god, that was brutal. Well done. What an experience that race was. It's definitely the toughest race and toughest run I think I've ever done. The hills were so much tougher than I thought, but I'll get into the whole race in a bit. Just want to talk a little bit about the atmosphere going there, which was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I knew I would get some energy from the crowds and from people, but I had no idea how big the race actually was. I'd never done it before, so when we got there and there was masses of people, I got really energized by it and excited to get to the start line. even though I couldn't actually even get to the place that I wanted to be. So they had pacers in this race, and I wanted to be at the 145 pacemaker so that I could at least try and stick with them and not have to focus on doing the pacing myself as much. But it was so busy that I couldn't even get to the pacemaker of 145. So I was somewhere in between in the beginning, between the 145 pacemaker and the 150. So I knew, okay, if I stay around there, then I'll be all right. So the gun went off and nothing happened. And then still nothing happened. And then finally, like 2 minutes later, I think, I crossed the start line. And luckily it wasn't so busy that everyone was walking over the start, because I think that would have been like brutal for my time. But the atmosphere was so good. So many people. The first 2K like flew by. Before I knew it, we were hitting the steep hills. We had a couple of friends come out and support us, and I was able to get a high five from them, and that really sort of boosted me along going into the uphill section. But I have to admit, I really underestimated how hard the hills would be. I thought that I'd be able to average around 5:15 per kilometer on the uphill, but I was looking at my watch and I was averaging around 5:40 per kilometer, and I was like, for context, I need to be running at around 4:59 per kilometer for the entire race in order to get my goal of 145. So when I was running 5:40 and seeing that, my heart rate was at 190, I did in that moment almost consider giving up, but I decided that no matter what, I was gonna push myself hard. I was gonna get a PB today, and that steep section only lasted for a small amount of time, and then I was able to get it down to maybe 5:15, 5:10 for the next kilometers, and then there was a few more uphill sections. Maybe a little bit at that point, I'd already let go of the goal, but still was focusing on getting a PB. I just knew that I would feel bad if I didn't keep pushing. I think in this race, like whenever I saw people walking, especially past the sort of 7 kilometer, 8 kilometer mark, I'd always think to myself like, oh, I could stop for a moment. It won't make that much difference. In the end, I told myself that I'll be a lot more proud of myself and I'll regret not pushing myself. So I stayed determined to be on track to reach my goal. Once we reached the halfway point, which it wasn't really the halfway point, but it was the peak of the race. So there came a point where you'd done 300 meters of elevation, and then all you're doing is coming down. And what I'd also underestimated was how fast I could run downhill. I had no idea that I'd be running that fast down the hills. When I'd done my 5:40 kilometer, I didn't think that I'd actually be able to run a 4:20 kilometer on the way down. And one of my kilometers was 4:23. I was flying down almost worryingly fast. I managed to hold on to that sort of pace. And something that was also really tough in this race was my fueling. I basically held onto a gel the entire race and didn't take it once. It was a bit rogue, but I just decided to take a gel before the race. I'm not sure if that was a good idea. I mean, maybe that's what kept me fueled through the race. If I had taken that gel, it would have just come straight out. So I felt like if I took that gel, I wouldn't have been able to continue and I probably would have had to stop. So I just held onto the gel the whole time. And also in the last 4 kilometers, I just sort of briefly chatted with a guy and asked him what his time goal was. And I said I was on track. At that point, I was probably averaging about 5:02. 5:02 was my overall race pace. And I needed to get that down. So in those last 4 kilometers, I worked together with this guy. Almost a switch clicked in me when he said, okay, let's put the hammer down. And I was like, let's put the hammer down. Let's go. And from then, I just sort of locked in a way and got 4:30 kilometers all the way to the end, which was really good. And in the end, I didn't know exactly if I'd done it. I knew I'd done it on my watch because it was a slightly long race. I'd already done the half marathon, almost 150 meters before the end. But I really wanted to make sure that I got the chip time below the 145. as well. And when I crossed the finish line, on the big screen it said 1:47. So I was like, have I done it? I don't know. Was I able to make up that time? Like, is it wrong? Luckily, they send a text immediately as soon as you cross the line, and I saw it 1:44:29. Like, I did it. You know, all of this training, all of this commitment, all the build up, and I actually did it. I mean, I had confidence that I'd do it, but also doubts as well. So especially in the middle of the race, you know, in the first half, I honestly thought I wasn't going to get it. So I was really, really happy to see that. I think overall, it was just such an amazing event, and one that I definitely want to do again in the future. One of the most important things to take away from it was the fact that if you commit to a goal and you put in that daily work, small pieces add up so much, so quickly. Like, I never would have thought that I could get 1:45. I think it's really fun to see the amount of progress that I'm making in running, and really gets me excited for where I can be. That sort of leads into my next plan, and actually the goal that I'm the most excited to commit to and have a similar mindset going into is getting a sub 20-minute 5K. It's been something that I wanted to achieve for a long time now. And I feel like now that I've done this half marathon and I've really built up my running, I feel like I can really focus on getting some speed, getting some strength to get that speed, and doing some more fast-paced workouts. And so over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to take you guys through my training week by week. And hopefully at the end of those 4 weeks, I'll be able to do a sub 20. Right now, my best is 21:06, which I got in a park run. And I'd like to get, again in a park run, a sub 20. So make sure to stick around for that. And if you watched all this way, thank you so much. I hope that if you are interested in running, that this inspires you to go out, to try hard, to not be afraid to set ambitious goals and to commit to them. Even worst case scenario with this race, if I hadn't hit my goal, I still would have gotten a PB. And even if I dropped out, I've done all of this work, all of this training, that even if I didn't do the race itself, I feel like I could still be so proud of myself. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you've liked the video, then I'd really appreciate if you would like it. Leave a comment down below if you've done a half marathon, and I'd love to hear what your goals are in running as well. And make sure to subscribe to not miss any of the next videos coming up, and how I'm going to sort of prep and train for a sub 20 5K. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!